end. You burn like a bouncing cigarette on the road. All sparks will burn out in the end. All sparks will burn out. All sparks will burn out. All sparks will burn out in the end. You're casting opinions at people who need them. All sparks will burn out in the end. Well, be careful, angel. This life is just too long. All sparks will burn out in the end. All sparks will burn out. All sparks will burn out. All sparks will burn out in the end. Burn like a bouncing cigarette. All sparks will burn out. 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 All sparks will burn out in the end.
That's Editors in studio here on 89.3 The Current doing All Sparks. We've crammed into the small Studio 4E to accommodate the fellows from Editors here today. We've got Tom and Chris here playing an acoustic set. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you. Don't forget Ben, the driver, who is also in the corner of the room.
Hello, Ben.
In his radio debut.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys coming in today. This has really been an incredible 12 months for you guys. I mean, first of all, you know, platinum status within the past year, and I got to say congratulations for all of what's happening to you. It's really wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Due to, well, a couple of things. First of all, an outstanding record. The record is called The Back Room, which has been doing fabulously well, and we've been enjoying it a lot here on The Current. But, of course, also extremely industrious touring. And did I read that somebody actually had a lease on a flat lapse and basically just, like, your home is in a suitcase now? Is that you, Chris?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I've just cancelled my last payment to the girl that I was renting off.
Oh, my.
So, yeah.
So home is the road now.
I have no idea where to go. I have 2 nights off before we go to Japan when we go back from America, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Hotels, I think. We'll see.
I guess so. But how long has this leg been going of this tour right now?
We were here from South by Southwest, so is that about a month ago, maybe just less than a month
Yeah,
ago?
it was about a month ago, I guess.
And we're here till Coachella, which is 2 weeks away, I think.
Very good.
So this stretch has been 6 weeks in the States, and then, like Chris said, a couple of days off, and then off to Japan for a week, and then back to the UK in May for festivals and our own little tour. So
yeah, and in the midst of all this, you know, it always blows my mind how, you see photos of the Beatles sitting there writing some masterpiece on a hotel bed, and I can't imagine, though, how in the world it really happens. Where do you find the time to think of things and draw on inspirations?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard. I mean, the time that you do get off, and we had a bit of time off over Christmas, and it was quite productive, actually. About 4 or 5 songs came out of that, and 2 of them which we've been playing on the road for this tour. So it does depend on the tour, on the situation. This tour is a joint headline thing, so there's no real long sound checks, and because a lot of time you can work ideas through in sound checks. But, I write words down all the time, but bring them into songs takes a little bit longer. And the next record will be ready when it's ready, but we're definitely thinking about it in a great deal. Yeah.
Playing shows for industry people, I'm curious about this idea because obviously, there's South by Southwest and festivals like that, and there's festivals in the UK that are the equivalent, and there's people that are out there, but you don't necessarily know. But somebody was writing somewhere about, or I was reading in an article somewhere about somebody saying that you almost, well, I can't say the words, but you almost freaked out knowing that there were all these industry people. This was back before you were signed, I suppose. And I imagine, how does this actually work to somebody who doesn't really know how this works? Is it, I imagine, like a group of people standing out there in suits and they're record company execs, or?
It's weird. I mean, there's 2 types of showcase. There's one which is like a normal gig, which you'll play when you're unsigned, and you just bring all of your friends down and family.
Okay.
And every man and his dog, and they stand at the front and have a good time, and then 40 A&R men, or with, as you said, the suits.
Yeah.
And, some of them are younger and they're more casual.
More casual, yeah.
It's not a bunch of guys in like 3 pieces that look like Roger Moore standing back there with their
No,
arms folding. Like,
no,
all
not
right, show
really.
us what you do then.
A couple of them do, but,
Yeah.
Most of them, it's like hipster A&R London
Yeah,
boys, that they
right.
send out for the first time, because the executives can't be asked. It takes a good
Yeah.
3 or 4 times before they go. The other type is probably the weirdest one, is when you're in a rehearsal room, and one guy or 1 or 2 people will just come and see you, and you'll sit them down, and then you'll play them a set, and you don't really know what to do, but especially between songs, at a gig there's applause and stuff. And
That's so Spinal Tap, hearing about this. Well,
totally.
maybe if not Spinal Tap, then it's just surreal. But it really does happen. You're saying you sit in a rehearsal room and they sit there and stare at you.
Yeah. Normally sat with our managers or your management, and then you don't know what level to, because obviously when you're performing in front of an audience, there's a certain kind of relationship there.
Exactly.
When you're rehearsing in a rehearsal room, you're not the same person really.
Right.
But obviously your management want you to give it your all and make a good impression, but you just feel a bit silly.
No,
And,
of course you do.
The thing is, when the song's finished, they feel equally silly because they don't know whether to clap or just go, okay.
we've had it all as well. There was this one guy that was rapturous applause between every song.
Yeah.
He didn't end up signing us. He was
Yeah.
he was just
See, that's the
embarrassed.
sign.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if it's
Yeah, he was just
if they're
embarrassed
too
he didn't want to.
enthusiastic, then it's like, oh, this guy, forget him. Why don't you play us another song?
Okay.
What are we going to hear?
Bullets.
Live in studio acoustic set here from Tom and Chris. It's Editors on 89.3 The Current.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If something has to change, then it always does. If something has to change, then it always does. You don't need this disease, not right now. No, you don't need this disease, not right now. Oh, you don't need this disease, 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 you don't. If something has to give, then it always will. Well, if something has to give, then it always will. You don't need this disease, not right now. No, you don't need this disease, not right now. No, not right now. You don't need this disease, you don't need this disease, you don't
Bullets, played by Editors, live in studio, an acoustic pared down set here with Tom and Chris from the band. In town, they're on tour with Stella Star, the band with an asterisk at the end of their name, and it's so nice to have you guys in here doing the whirlwind tour, endless touring, radio gigs. Did you sleep last night?
I had a bit of a weird one, actually. We had a day off, or a night off, at least.
That's
so
good.
I'm not used to sleeping in beds. I'm used to sleeping in bunks.
That are moving.
That are moving, yeah.
Right.
So it was a bit strange. I was sort of waking up in sweats and stuff. It was a bit weird.
As with many bands, there's the curse of being compared to previous bands. You guys, of course, are continually compared to Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Damn them.
Seriously, I'm going to give you a chance to prove to all these people who have no imagination but to compare you to one or two specific old bands just how well-rounded you are by giving us some examples of music that you enjoyed when you were growing up that had an influence on you that maybe might surprise people who hear Editors today. So,
the reason that we started playing in bands when you're about 14, 15 is because bands like Oasis and Blur.
yeah.
And, that obviously has a massive effect on you. And then, sort of, after Britpop ended, I sort of got into dance music and hip-hop and used to listen to, like, Northern Soul and breaks and stuff, and that was something that really excited me for,
Nice.
And still does,
Mm-hmm.
And then, as we mentioned earlier, that kind of the Strokes came out, suddenly rock and roll was exciting again. I'm a big Yeah Yeahs fan. I love the Walkman.
Sweet.
And
yeah,
sort of
we're
like
big
the
on them
most
around here.
recent bands that have had an influence on us.
Tom?
I touched on a couple of them a little while back, but when Chris went off and kind of discovered dance music, I kind of buried myself in REM and Radiohead and Spiritualized and stuff like that. And bands like Chris said, the Walkman, and bands that are around at the moment never cease to inspire us. So
Very good. You've been very good sports. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Chris and Tom, thank you, and we'll never see you again because you guys are going to be absolutely monstrous and huge. But we hope you will come back at some point.
crash and burn.
See you on the way down.
yeah. Good. Either way, we hope you will come back because it's been fun. Will you play some more song?
We'll do our best.
All right. Editors, thanks for stopping by. Chris and Tom, acoustic here on 89.3 The Current. Thanks to Sam Keenan for engineering and also to Ellen Lind for producing today.
I'm so glad I found this. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I found this. I'm so glad I did. People are fragile things you should know by now. Be careful what you put them through. People are With one hand I'm still. With one hand you calm me. With one hand I'm still. People are fragile things you should know by now. Be careful what you put them through. People are fragile things you should know by now. You'll speak when you're spoken to. Oh. You'll speak when you're spoken to. You'll speak when you're spoken to. He'll speak when you're spoken to. She'll speak when she's spoken to.